Preparedness. We are here for week 4 of the Adaptive Fitness General Physical Preparedness Program. Strength portion, we're going to start repeating our strength components from the last couple weeks. We're going to start today with that deadlift 5x5 that we had in week 1. This is a good opportunity to retest, see what progress you've made in the last couple weeks, and then set a benchmark, since we'll be going back to this 5x5 one more time. And afterwards we've got some conditioning, and then our accessory work is going to be a little bit of core work, good amount of stretching, shoulders, hips, joints. So let's get right into the strength component. Again, we've got that deadlift 5x5. You should be pretty familiar with the deadlift by now. I'll go over it really fast, but if you want a more detailed explanation, you can go back to the previous videos that will give you a more in-depth look at the deadlift. But points of performance are the same. You have that weight set up outside of your feet. You have your chest up, back straight, hips go back on the way down, and they come back forward on the way up. What that looks like for seated is it's that hinge in the lower back. Standing all the way up. So now for loading, if you chose one single weight to do all 5 sets with last time, I'd recommend warming up with that weight again, see how that feels, and then try increasing. See if you want to do the same 5 sets at a heavier weight this time. Otherwise, the option to build with each set is still on the table. If you built the first time, I would recommend starting out at around what you had for one of those middle rounds or sets 2, 3, or 4. Starting out there, build off of that. Maybe take bigger weight jumps than you did the first time. And again, if you want to switch, whether you built throughout each set or if you stayed at one weight for all 5 sets, you can choose between those two. And yeah, try to have, if you have the option of having more loading than you had the first time we did this, go for that. Try that. If you don't, just keep focusing on that good quality of movement, good range of motion, and just good quality of movement right there. So now we can go to our conditioning piece. We have 2 rounds of different Tabatas. So what a Tabata is 8 rounds, 20 seconds of maximum effort work, and then 10 seconds of rest. And those alternate for those 8 rounds. So it's a total of 4 minutes for 1 round of Tabata. What we have is 2 rounds of Tabata. So we'll have the, for standing, it'll be Tabata air squats. So it'll be 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest of air squats for 8 rounds. At the end of those 8 rounds, you'll have a full minute of rest, and then we'll go into another set of Tabata, but this time with bicep curls. Same deal for seated, except instead of air squats, it is triceps extensions. So I'll demo air squat again. Air squat should be pretty familiar. Same as the squat we've been working on for the last couple weeks. Again, hips go back, knees stay over the toes. Make sure those knees aren't collapsing in. Keep your chest up, keep your back straight. And make sure you're getting below parallel if you can, if not, as low as you can get without discomfort. So now and I'll do the triceps extensions too for seated. This should be pretty familiar. We'll use one weight today. We'll have that weight, hold one end of it, hold it behind our head, arms straight up, and then at the elbow joint, that's going to be where that pivot is. We're just going to finish with our arms locked out and that weight overhead. So that is the first set of Tabata for standing and seated. At the conclusion of your 8 rounds, you'll have a 4-minute rest, and then we'll go into our bicep curls. Bicep curls will be the same for both groups. So, I'll say if you have 2 weighted objects, we'll use both of them at the same time. You just alternate one arm at a time. Basic bicep curl, you have that weight starting at your side, and then you just pull it, only using that arm contraction. If you have only one object, we'll have you pulling that out front, and this will be almost like a preacher curl if you're familiar with that. We'll have that way out front, and then you're just going to use both arms at the same time to lift that as far as you can. All right. Alternatively, if you have a resistance band, we can do our bicep curls with these too. So if you want to just anchor it with your feet, get some tension, you can use resistance band. We can do it standing up as well. So again, anchor that out so that you have a good amount of tension, and then pulling using just that front part of your arms, just using the biceps. If you want to alternate using the band, that's also an option. All right. And then that again will be another 8 rounds, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, for a total of 4 minutes. So keep track of how many reps you do for each movement. And then once you're done with that, then we can move on to our accessories. So let's get started with seated. So we have 3 rounds, 30 seconds of each of these kind of dynamic stretching movements. So we'll start out with the PVC pipe pass through. I've got a piece of PVC pipe. There are a couple options that you can use if you don't have access to a PVC pipe. I'll go over those in a second. But basically what this pass-through is you'll have a wide grip on your object, and then it's just going to go up and over, rotate that shoulder, and let that pipe go all the way back. The only thing that's working here is that rotation of the shoulders. If you have mobility issues, just go back as far as your shoulders will let you. If you can go all the way, that's perfect. But just go as far as you can without discomfort. So we'll go through as many of those in 30 seconds. If you don't have a PVC pipe, you can use a broomstick You can use a resistance band, pretty much just any long solid object that you have access to. You'll need to have a wide enough grip, and if you have a wider grip, that kind of lessens the amount of strain for that shoulder rotation. So if you do have issues kind of getting all the way through, try to widen up that grip a little bit and then see if you can go a little bit farther. So next, the overhead hold. You can do this with whatever you used for the pass-throughs, but basically we're going to have that wide grip again, and it's just going to be a hold overhead. Really push through. It should be an active press. It shouldn't just be like you're holding something over your head. It should be like actively trying to keep pushing it upwards. So kind of activate those upper shoulder and back muscles. Almost feel like you're trying to pull your object into two pieces. Should maybe feel a little elevation in those shoulders. Alternatively, you can do it with some weight too, if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Similar to the shoulder press that we've been working on, just make sure that you aren't arching your back, and then also that you have that same active hold as you would with a lighter object. So after 30 seconds of an overhead hold, we'll have 30 seconds behind the head press. We'll go back to what we used for that first movement, and then same wide grip, holding that behind our head, behind our neck, and then we're just going to press through, get those elbows extended. Again, it should feel like you're kind of pulling your object in two directions, trying to kind of break it in half by just pulling at it. Again, have that same active hold position, get that elevation in the shoulders, and then after 30 seconds of that, then we'll go back to the pass-throughs for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds of each of those movements, 3 total rounds. After the third round, you're done. For standing, we've got a different set of stretches. First off, we've got cat-cows. We're going to be in our 4-point tabletop position for that. So we're just going to be alternating through 2 positions here. We'll have the cat, which is an arched back. Really feel like you're driving that lower part of the spine outwards. And then the cow, which is just the opposite. It is that arch in the opposite direction. Feel like you're kind of driving force through your belly button. And then just switch between these 2 positions for 30 seconds. The next 30 seconds we'll have a plank hold. You can do this in a few different ways. You can do it on your hands, you can do it on your elbows, you can do it from, you can do it with your knees on the ground if you feel the need to, if you can't hold it for that whole 30 seconds. But yeah, that's just a standard plank hold. Make sure you're having that straight body position, have that core engaged so that you're not dipping anywhere. But after that, we can go to our plank reach throughs. We did these before with weight. We'll just do it without weight this time. But again, we're in that plank position, and then we're just going to alternate reaching through with one hand through that opposite side. really feel that rotation in your spine. If you need to go down to your knees, that is okay too. We're more focused on keeping that core engaged while getting that healthy rotation of that mid spine. So 30 seconds of plank reach throughs, then we have 30 seconds of plank arm and leg lifts. So we'll be in that plank position, and then we're going to lift up one leg and the opposite side arm at the same time, and then switch sides. Only have to hold it for a second. This is a tricky one, so it might be really good to do what's just called a bird dog. Same thing, except you've got a knee planted instead of just a toe. If you have issues going with like those opposite sides at the same time, then you don't have to do them at the same time. You can reach and then reach with the reach back with the leg after reaching forward with the arm, or you can just do it one leg at a time and just rotate it through. You don't have to hold them for long, but just again make sure you have that keep that core engaged, keep your back straight, and yeah, that should be it. Alright, so that'll do it for day 1 of week number 4. Be sure to come back for day number 2. We'll go back to those shoulder presses, and then we're going to also revisit a little bit of some mobility that we did before, kind of see if you're making any progress there. So it'll be good it's a good test day. Alright, that's Work Adapted Fitness. Stay moving, stay active, stay safe, and then I'll see you for day number 2.